Welcome to PhotoComment, our video podcast or video TV. This is an opportunity for us to be able to meet with you face to face in a strange kind of way and be able to introduce to you some hands-on with products that we've been reviewing, interviews with photographers. It's our first show for 2013 and we hope to be able to bring you a lot more this year. And we're kicking off this show with a very interesting announcement. Right now in London, as this video has been uploaded to YouTube, is a press event with Samsung and the unveiling of the Samsung Galaxy NX. Essentially, this is a Android-powered mirrorless compact system camera from Samsung. It runs the same 20 megapixel sensor that's in the NX300 and the rest of the NX range, current range. It has a ginormous 4.8 inch, from what we can tell, touch screen on it. It's got a quad-core 1.6 gigahertz processor with 2 gigs of RAM. This unit has 16 gigs of internal storage. And on the side here, we have a SIM card slot. We're told that this will be available in an LTE model and a micro SD card slot. As a photographer, you probably don't have a lot of micro SD cards, but as someone who may be only owning a mobile phone right now and looking to upgrade to your first camera, you probably have the micro SD covered. Nice ginormous battery in there. We hope to test the battery life. We got it yesterday, so we've got to get through the battery a bit more and see how well it holds up, but it's doing pretty well this morning. Interface wise, this beautiful touch screen is fantastic to use. You have got not an optical but an electronic viewfinder here, which switches over as your eye approaches to the viewfinder pretty quickly, even quicker than some other brands we've come across. Autofocus is pretty fast. Certainly quicker than some of the other big brands' mirrorless cameras are. It's a lot faster than what early Samsung cameras are. I would probably even say it seems to be more accurate in certain instances than the NX300, although they have pushed out a new firmware update for that. You've got the ability also here to change your modes through the touch screen or through this control dial. Now, the control dial is quite an interesting touch because I can change there, push down on the button of the control dial, and there we go. I can change from aperture priority, shutter priority, manual mode, and again push down to get into that mode. Our complaint comes in when I now want to go and adjust my aperture. Before I can just turn the dial to do that, I need to actually push on the aperture section there on the screen, and then I can start changing my aperture. The other alternative is using Samsung's eye function lenses. So I can push the eye function button there and then use the focusing ring to be able to adjust my apertures like that, which is quite an interesting way of doing things. It's quite unique to Samsung. What we would like to see in the future is a way for them to allow us in manual mode to control shutter and aperture independently through the eye function ring and through the control dial at the top. The moment it doesn't give us that ability, we've got to switch between the two different modes. Being an Android-based device, it shouldn't be difficult for them to actually put through an update and download it through your 3G or your Wi-Fi. Of course, you can go into your Android user experience here. It's pretty quick and fluid. You are able to switch over into the camera mode just by swiping again to the side, or alternatively, just by pressing down the shutter button and back up in the camera. That transition is pretty quick compared to other Android devices. And being an Android device, I can now go and check my Gmail on here. I can upload my photos to Dropbox automatically. I could post to Instagram and to Google+, edit my pictures with Snapseed or Photoshop Touch for phone. So there's quite a lot of versatility that this offers. It's a very, very interesting way to be able to use a camera. Only thing you're not going to be able to do is answer phone calls on here. Obviously, you can Skype and do a Google Plus Hangout. We would enjoy that the Google Plus Hangout was able to make use of this large 20 megapixel APS-C sensor in the front. Unfortunately, at the moment, that isn't available, but it's probably just a question of time before that becomes an option on here. Obviously, you can also use other camera replacement apps. We haven't had a chance to test too many of them in too much detail to see whether they support the 20 million pixel sensor yet and how they handle that file size. But in terms of overall image quality, we did some pictures last night at ISO 3200. Pretty happy with the quality. It was, I can't say any worse than any other 20 megapixel sensor that we've experimented with. In fact, personally, I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty clean and could be a little bit sharper, maybe a bit over processed in terms of noise reduction. But overall, a very interesting camera. We're excited to see where this is going to go. We are looking forward to being able to put it through its paces in more depth today. And in fact, by the time this video goes live, if you head over to photocomment.net, you'll be able to find our full review of the camera. Drop us a line, give us some comments. Would this be something that you're interested in? Is this a camera that might sway you to buy and replace your SLR? Is it something that you would maybe look at adding to your SLR system? It's not as big, as compact as your traditional mirrorless cameras like an Olympus OMD, for example, or even Samsung's own NX300, but it is very comfortable to hold, and it's still easier to carry around and lighter than a full-size SLR. We look forward to hearing your comments and suggestions on it, and hope that we'll be able to bring you another episode soon. Thanks very much. Cheers.